Last time I think you played UIC, they didn't have a win in the league, and now they've had some success recently.
Yeah, they won.
Their last four.
Yep.
How different is this team, and what do you remember from them?
This is a team that's I think in a lot of ways is similar to us. They put freshmen and sophomores on the floor, have had their ups and downs. They're really athletic. They really drive it. They put a lot of pressure on your defense. There's been a couple of games this year that they've shot somewhere between like 38 and 44 foul shots. So they really, really put the pressure on your defense by just driving it. Some might say a little out of control, but they're creating contact all the time. So they've got two really, really good freshmen. They're getting a kid back, I think, that's really going to help them, and it really helped them against Northern Kentucky and Wright State. Kid that was out with a foot injury. He's their best shooter. So they're as talent. They're very, very talented. You'll see. I mean, they're long and big, and they have a Damian Ergel kind of esque kid in the post that's just has an unbelievable knack for blocking shots and taking on what I would call the help side defensive block shot guy. So our bigs have to be active to kind of clean up after that. But they've won as many games in the league in the last 2 weeks as anybody in the league.
Your team got a decidable lead at halftime against them last time. Matt said team on a little bit of cruise control
Yeah.
after that. How do you have to?
John, we shot the ball so well early. I mean, we came down and we were knocking everything in, and they came out in the second half and in a little bit like of an extended 2-3 trap, and we just didn't. We had some pretty good looks. We just we went dry and didn't make any shots. And again, with them, you can make a shot and be caught in transition because of how hard they push it. You really just gotta, you really gotta knock down the open looks that they give you. Up there, we were there was a stretch in the first half that we were shooting 60% from the floor and about 54 from the three. And I was on the bench during that time saying this is great, but this is going to run dry a little bit, and it did in the second half. And our guys did a good job and held on. If you look at their scores, all their home games have been incredibly close. Overtime loss to I think it was Milwaukee or Green Bay, and obviously they've beaten Wright, and so they're obviously getting better.
I know the results haven't been what's kind of the mindset?
Dane, that's an interesting question. I mean, it's, we came home to a 4-game homestand, and I think had one really bad effort against Oakland, and then played, pretty good the next 2 games. But in this league, our margin for error is not very good. And, we just can't have bad efforts, or not necessarily bad effort, but, bad basketball IQ plays in big moments. And, it catches us. In the last game, we haven't played without Cam, all year long. And I think early in that game, that kind of set us back in terms of our timing or our game flow or whatever it was. Then we came back and had a chance, I thought, to win it. And, had 3 turnovers and 2 point blank. One was an offensive rebound point blank, and the other one was just a catch on the block, drop step score. And, it hasn't gone well at home. Our guys know that. We have an opportunity, though, to have, what do we have, 6 left? 6 left? 5 left, 3 out of the 5 at home. And, let's get on a roll and play good. I think this group has paid a tremendous price for their youth. In the last game, it kind of hit me. I know it, but when you're home and you hear the announcer say freshman, sophomore, and I got, and a chill went up my spine. Whoa. And we're paying a heavy price of a lot of lessons. And I told a lot of those younger guys that, yesterday at practice. If we're not learning from them, then we're not going to be where we want to be and where I think a kid like Jordan Andrews can be. Cam's had a heck of a year. He's only a sophomore. Cisco and those guys, Latin, have played good minutes at times. So we just got to keep on plugging away.
So does the assist to turnover ratio have to be, in your favor?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In the last 10 years in this league, we have been at the top 3 in that stat almost every single year. And like I said to you, I think, in a year from now, our margin of error will be a little bit different, a little bit whatever. But our margin for error right now is we just cannot make those mistakes. And we can't make those mistakes in, big moments. I mean, we were 2 games away now from our best shooter having a wide open 3-point shot that would take us over the hump. And then we got the offensive rebound out of those misses and turned them over both times in both games. That right there is something that this group does not have the ability to overcome right now. We've got to knock that shot down, get down there and battle a little bit again. I thought our defense has been better in the last couple of games. I don't think it was a defensive problem against Cleveland State. I thought it was an offensive effort game. Dan?
I know I ask you every week, is Sid any closer? I know you say day to day, is he showing any signs of?
Sid's been through 3 practices now with no after effect. That's a very positive thing for us for tomorrow night.
Matt mentioned the word progression, that you've talked to them as they're heading towards tournament play. You want them on the uptick as they're heading towards that postseason. How important is this win in heading in that direction?
We got to get one. It's been a hard year on me. I know that a lot of people have said, well, they're young, but that didn't help me at 4 a.m, breaking film down, trying to get ready for UIC. It's been tough. This group has the ability to really be really special, and I think that's the thing that excites us all. I would like to think that, and I said this to a couple of those guys, Cisco, Jordan, even Devin, and some of those other guys, you're 20-plus games in. Now's the time that, you really got into your sophomore year. And we'll see.
What do you want to see from, your young big guys like Devin and Bryce? They might be a little overmatched right now, to be honest, but, what do you kind of want to see them do better these last few games?
Compete better. You know what I mean? Make this, make the simple play. There's, we're missing point blank 2-footers. And that's because everything ends up speeding up. They're not experienced enough to catch it. No, to relax and be able to finish it. They're trying to, be quick with it and trying to do those kind of things. So, it's obvious to everyone that we've had those opportunities and have not done well with that. And we're in the same mode that you are. We're waiting for something good to happen to those guys. And, we've started different guys. Sid coming back, hopefully is probably our best finisher. Hopefully we can get him on the floor without any residual pain effects that might help us a little bit.
Jerry, you've mentioned a couple of times when something bad happens, it seems to have that roller coaster snowball effect. Can it work the other way too?
Well, you know what, Dane? I think in our last 2 games, though, I think we've done a better job handling those moments. I think we've done a better job being in that situation and fighting through it. Again, I think we're 3 possessions away from, having 2 wins and me being happy instead of miserable. So, but yes, that can definitely affect us to a positive when things go well early, like the UIC game, like the Cleveland State game up there. It can definitely be a positive to the other direction.
Can you speak on Cisco? He has 2 best games of the year, both against Cleveland State, and his energy out there.
He's the one, John. He's the one constant energy guy that we have every single day. He comes to practice. He's happy to be there. He plays hard. He's a good teammate. He's getting better. You know, he is having what I would call a maturing year for a point guard. And that maturing aspect is in the fact that he's gotten better as the year's gone on. Obviously, the Cleveland State game's a important game to him. We've talked about making every game the rest of the way. That kind of a deal. But he was good against Detroit. He had 8 assists and 1 turnover. So it's been fun for me to see him mature. It's not always in this game of basketball that good things happen to good people, or good things happen to kids that care the most. And he's one of the guys in our program that cares the most.